Just talking to you, I can tell you kind of have like a silly, kind of fun type of personality. So was it kind of easy bringing that to that character? Like, you know what I mean? Because he's a goofy kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's such a lovable dipshit. You know, he's such an idiot. I love the guy. What a complete moron. He it just sort of it's so much fun to play in that sandbox with that character because he's so like over the top wacky. You don't have to worry about doing too much with that guy because I was like, no, I swear I didn't mean to do it. You know,
because I always say they have like a Pumbaa and Tumba Lion King type of reference.
Yes, totally.
Timon and Pumbaa type of relationship.
Pumbaa and Tumba.
Yeah. Both.
Hey, what's up, anime fans? It's your boy, Raysean from the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast, or RGAT for short. And today we have a special episode. We're interviewing Pete Sepenuk from the popular anime Bleach, Naruto, and the movie Land Before Time. We're going to be asking him about his experience in the voice acting industry and also about his personal life and how you can get into the industry. But before I introduce my guest and also my co-host, if this has sparked your interest, then sit back and enjoy the ride. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you're listening.
Don't waste my time, kid. I'm quite familiar with your trick. It won't work on me. I need to watch out for Rakshasa's palm. The version of Rakshasa's palm you've created has larger motions than the original. This makes it more damaging, but easier to predict.
The only thing remarkable about Ajins is that they don't die. Is that what you truly believe when you receive the Ajin blessing? Allow me to show you the way. I'm here to rescue you, Tanaka.
Here, I'll let you try one. I was getting tired of waiting. I got so bored I went ahead and baked some sweet potatoes for myself. Hey, this is pretty good.
Before we get started, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to introduce themselves, basically let everybody know who you are, what you do, and also tell us your top 2 favorite live action actor or actress and why.
Oh my gosh, getting right into it. What's up, everybody? So happy to be here with these guys. My name's Pete Sepenuk. I'm a voice actor. I live in Los Angeles. I've been doing it now for, I'm going to say professionally almost 30 years this fall. Jeez, I'm old. Also still on AOL, which makes me doubly old. We're not going to talk about it. Maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see. Get into details. So, yes, I've been voice acting for almost 30 years. And my favorite actor, so common, so typical, Harrison Ford. Come on, Han Solo. Indiana Jones, Witness, another underrated gem. And then actress, gosh, I'm going to have to go with, only because I grew up with her and she's still killing it, Jodie Foster. From Candle Shoe and Freaky Friday when I was a kid, and Bugsy Malone, another gem of a movie, a classic. And then, Silence of the Lambs, and now even with True Detective season 3. So, or is it 4? I don't even know. She's amazing. So yeah, there you go. Those are my top 2 actress.
Funny thing about that is just kind of looking at your room aesthetic. I felt like I knew something with Star Wars related was going to be.
I didn't even notice it. Actually, said something.
Okay. Can you guys see the creepy Yoda in the corner with R2 next to him?
That's an interesting little figure you have there. I feel like at nighttime, if it was dark, that might catch me off guard a few times.
He's gonna start talking to you. Oh, no, I woke up multiple times whenever I'm sleeping back here. If I'm working late on a project right there, I swear to God, he's fully monologuing. It's bananas. It's fantastic.
Oh man, it looks cool though. Okay. Yeah, you got the R2D2. Okay.
Yeah, got that too. So big Star Wars fan, as you can see here.
How long you been a fan?
So since I was 7, when a movie came out in 1977, I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and there was nothing to do because it rains 10 months a year in Portland. Kids, I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Sounds like where Hayden lives. Hayden talks about the same situation where he's lived.
It's been downpouring for like the past 2 weeks here.
Dude,
It's
talk
awful.
about Dagobah and Yoda. My God, it's depressing. Am I right? Jeez, no wonder we're drinking these special drinks. Jeez, the little elixirs right here help us all. So yeah, so I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and so the only thing to do when you're 7 years old is go see Star Wars multiple times. I must have seen it like 30, 40 times at the Westgate Theater, which holds the record, by the way, for the longest stretch of time showing Star Wars. It was there for over a year. So, and the big theater had 1,000 people. So other than Star Wars, it was the Portland Trailblazers who won the world championship that year in 77. So yeah, that sort of like started so it came out of like the perfect age for me, as a 7-year-old, kid.
So do you like how Disney has been doing with this the series so far? I mean, how have you liked the last few movies?
Created with the you know what? I'd say that it's a mixed bag. There's things that I love that they've done. Like I think The Force Awakens definitely holds its own against the original trilogy. Other than killing off Han Solo, which I thought was ridiculous. Think of all the things they could have done with Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Come on. But the movie itself is great. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were awesome. Less so with some of the other series. Everyone's going to beat me up if I tell them that I haven't watched Andor yet, but I haven't watched Andor yet. So,
okay.
But some of the oh my God, some of the Clone Wars animated stuff is great. And what else has been good out there? So, but yeah, I mean, I like Solo was pretty good. So it's funny. Solo and Rogue One, when I first saw them, like they were okay. Upon watching them again, they're actually pretty good. Actually, really good. Rogue One's great. So yeah, I mean, I think they've done. Okay, but you know what though? It's never gonna be my Star Wars. Like we hold the things so precious to our hearts of the things we've seen when our kids. When we were. So I read this great quote the other day about the Phantom Menace. Like, Phantom Menace is not a good Star Wars movie, but I love it. I thought that was such a funny thing to say. It's like it's not that good, but because of Star Wars, I have to like it because the Phantom Menace is one of the few movies that I could think of that had so much hype building up to it. It's never going to meet the hype or, at all. So, but it's Star Wars. So you got to love it despite its fault, right? So,
yeah, I'm the same way with Dragon Ball. No matter what it is, even if it's bad, I'm still going to say, it's a top 10 contender. So
you support your family. Yeah. Right.
But, with that, before I tell my favorite actors, I want to let my co-host go ahead and tell his and also answer our questions and stuff.
How's it going, everybody? Hayden, I'm here again. So my two, first off, we're going to start off with Adam Sandler. I've mentioned him before. I've grown up watching his movies. My dad's a big fan, so it's kind of one of those, it's rubbed off on me. Even if I didn't want to like it, it's a constant. It's like, hey, let's go watch Blended. Let's go watch 50 First Dates. Let's watch Little Nicky, Happy Gilmore, all these things. And as I've grown up now, I'm 25, so I've spent a long time watching him. I've been able to see the whole difference of it. He has his own range of comedy, a big thing. He has sad, sorrowful movies. It was Spaceman, I think is what it was, where he had the big spider in there. That was a great movie there. Then you have other good deep movies like Leo, which is a surprisingly good movie. He makes good movies all the way around, comedy, serious, action, whatever you want. Well, only one I can think action is Don't Mess with Zohan, but that's a dumb one.
Have you seen Uncut Gems?
I have not.
Oh, you gotta say that.
That's what? That's so interesting that you would call that an action movie because it kind of is an action movie. That's a great movie. Anyway, I don't want to interrupt because I love hearing finally someone who is giving a good sort of dissertation on Adam Sandler that he sort of deserves, right?
He's a good one that has a lot. There's a lot of them out there that do have the whole different range of it. Like my other one too, I'm about to get into. I like Adam Sandler, and I didn't realize how good he was until what was his Christmas movie, or not his Christmas movie, his whatever movie. Seven Nights.
Which one?
Is it Seven Nights?
The animated one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 8 Crazy Nights.
8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah.
I watched that finally for the first time last year because it popped up.
That's a really
feed.
old movie.
It popped up on my feed, and it's a constant. It's you gotta watch this, and it was a bum diddy bum was all over the place. It's God damn it, I gotta watch it just so I have context to whatever the hell's going on. Watch it. That's a hell of a lot better the movie than I thought. Adam Sandler, I think is aged gracefully as time's gone on.
Yeah.
Along with the other one is Hugh Jackman, another one I've grown up with. I think he's another one who's just aged like a fine wine. Because whenever I first was introduced to him, at like maybe 5 years old, was Wolverine and X-Men. So I was like, oh yeah, dude, and unbeatable evil claws, badass. And just got older and older and started seeing more of his stuff. Like he had Missing Link was a good movie. One of my favorite movies and one of his roles is The Greatest Showman. I love seeing him in there. And that was where I first learned he used to do Broadway shows. So hearing him sing and actually sing was just like, this is incredible. He has a somber, he has the action, he has the comedy aspect to it, and then you have like the serious like dad moments in it. Like I also think of The Real Steel. Like he has a lot of variety to him that makes me really enjoy him. And it's been like both of these dudes has been a pleasure to watch growing up, and I can't wait to see how time goes on and how they get treated.
Yeah, I actually saw Hugh Jackman on Broadway in a show called The Boy from Oz. It's the true story about a singer from Australia, and he's amazing. You would have loved it. Like it's everything you just described. Hugh Jackman, it's funny, he's singing, he's dancing, it's sad. There's a lot of heartbreak in the show. So yeah, he's something. He's kind of there's nothing he can't do. He hosted the Oscars one year.
Pretty much, yeah. If you want somebody, Hugh Jackman will be there.
Yep, he's your man.
He's pretty dope. I think I also see him in Peter Pan, like a remake of the Peter Pan movie. He was singing and dancing in that too.
Yeah. And he's the villain of it. And like his introduction was "Here We Are Now" with fucking I think it was Nirvana.
Yeah, he was singing Nirvana,
and it was just sort of God. It was badass. So it's like this man is amazing. He's perfect.
Love that guy. Spirit animal.
I remember hearing that in the movie theaters because that was one of those random movies I actually seen in the theaters and hearing that song, and I was like, are they singing Nirvana? That's so random. But it was pretty dope. I liked the whole scene. For my top two actors and actresses, I chose Samuel Jackson. I feel like you can never go wrong with Samuel Jackson. His presence is just amazing. I feel like when you see him on screen, you know it's Samuel Jackson. Sure. He has the ability to mix in with your A-listers and your B-listers to the point where sometimes you can't even really notice he's there, like in the Django and stuff like that. So I want to say Samuel Jackson is probably one of my favorite actors. Right now, I don't think he does as much as he used to do. And it's probably because, Marvel hasn't been putting out a lot of movies and he usually played Nick Fury, which I think he said he doesn't know if he's still going to continue that role or not. But hopefully he does because I just love seeing the man. He's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And for my next one, I chose Viola Davis. I think she's incredible. Every role I've seen her in, she literally brings the character to life. I feel like she's like embodiments acting to its core. She plays in a movie. I can't think of what it is right now, but she is the president, and she basically has to fight off of these terrorist threats.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you watch. I think it's called Is it G20? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've only seen a part of it because I was watching it a little bit, but then I got sidetracked with some other stuff. It was doing pretty good for what I was watching. I had some other stuff come up, but she's amazing. I love her. I think she's a great actress.
She's amazing. It's true. She's awesome. Good call. Yeah. And do you see? And like she's great in The Help.
Oh, amazing in that. And Fences. Have you seen Fences?
Oh, the Denzel Washington. No, I never saw that.
Oh, you gotta watch it. It's amazing. I like because I actually read the book when I was in high school, so kind of seeing the book get turned into a movie, that was actually pretty good. Because that's one of the few times I actually read the book and then got to actually see the movie. Because I know a lot of times people get on me on different stuff because I say the Harry Potter movies are pretty good, but then they're like they're not nowhere near close to the books. They're not. Right. I'm like, well, I've never read those Bibles, so I don't know. I don't think you can fit all that stuff in a movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah. In high school, I did the Cliff Notes. I read the Cliff Notes. I just got the little thing. Has this book been made into a movie that I can rent at the video store in VHS or beta, preferably beta? That was the questions I would ask. So yeah.
And then you know what's so crazy now? Because I tell my my brother and with my sister this too, because I'm like, one thing I've noticed within my generation is the advancement of technology. And the fact that now you guys are in school and you have AI and AI can literally do almost everything now. I'm like, I could have graduated college. Like you just started thinking about. I'm like, man, if I had this, man, it's so crazy.
It's insane. I was just hearing that somebody goes, "Oh yeah, in like 2 to 3 years, you're going to be able to like basically input like a sort of a little bit of a prompt, and it'll spit out a 90-minute movie in AI."
I can't remember what it is, but there's actually a streaming network supposed to be coming out at the end of 2027, something like that. You give it a whole thing, and like you can direct episodes like that. That's something I'm actually excited to see. That'll be kind of cool.
It's insane, and yeah, it's so funny because everyone's like, "Oh, you're going to be able to do this, and this is going to change this." It's like nobody really knows, right? And what's going to happen? Like, how is AI going to take over movies? How's it going to take over voiceovers? How is it going to take over the world? You don't really quite know yet. I mean, you could see little things here and there that leads you to think, okay, it's going to completely take over almost everything. But who knows?
If you watch the movies tell you they're going to take over everything. So
I know about Skynet. I've seen all the Terminator movies. I know it's going to be bad.
You know what I mean? Once the AI starts getting emotions and it starts talking back, we got a problem. You never know, man. You never know. When does it stop? But see, I think a lot of times we always go straight to the negative. Because I think sometimes when I think about can AI be integrated with like entertainment or voice acting and like anime and stuff, I always think like it could be for like background or for like Walla or stuff like that, or for stuff like they're trying to knock out stuff pretty fast. I don't think they should use it to like fill in main characters and stuff like that. No, because I feel like you need those type of things. You need emotion and storytelling and stuff like that. And I don't feel like AI has gotten to that point yet, which that does scare me if they can get it to the point where it's like a person like that.
Yeah.
Woo.
And if you don't know if it's AI, they're able to pull off those emotions, pull off like a real human emotion, real human. That's sort of like, that's the trick, right? It's funny. It's like, in terms of like AI, how I see it, it's like, if you know it's fake, if you know it's AI, then of course in your back of your mind, you're not going to buy it. But if you don't know, if you're not sure, it's sort of like watching wrestling. There's still people out there that think it's real. Yeah. Like, it's like, well, if you don't know it's fake, then you're going to enjoy it. Same thing with AI. If you don't know, you're probably going to like totally buy into it. And it's going to work for you,
Yeah. And that's the funny thing with wrestling. It took me a long time before I realized like it was like fake. But see, I always say it's fake, but how do you really fake a slam? Like they taking slams and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I mean it's choreographed. But I mean that stuff hurt. Like I'm not thinking they coming out of the matches like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do another one. Like,
totally. They're definitely popping the codeine as soon as they're done with those matches, that's for sure. But they're like stuntmen, so it probably doesn't hurt as much. But yeah, for sure.
Before we kind of knock into the interview, you were kind of talking a little bit before we started recording that you were doing something with the MLB. You want to go ahead and speak on that a little bit? And was it for a certain team or was it just broad?
It's just for the entire Major League Baseball, the whole thing. I actually am doing all of the Sunday leadoff promos for the games that happen on Sunday mornings. They're going to be on the Roku channel, the Roku Sports channel. So I do all of the promos for those games that happen on those two on the Roku, also the Roku, .com on the website itself, and also for the Roku channel, for the Roku Sports channel. So there's like every Sunday, like early morning between like 10 and noon, there's a game. And so it's going to be on that. It's going to be on that platform. So so you'll hear me do the commercials for that. I think the first one is coming up that I'm doing. I think it's this Sunday. Actually, I just started doing it a few weeks ago. So we've started recording them, over the last, few weeks or so. But yeah, I'm psyched because I've become such a huge Dodger fan since Shohei came here last season, and it's changed the entire climate of Los Angeles. I mean, it's really like, obviously they won last season. That was great, but it just changed. It's been insane. I've never been a baseball fan. I'm not to say I don't like it, but I don't really watch it now. Oh my God, I'm watching like a game. I'm watching like 2 or 3 games a week minimum. It's disgusting. I need to stop. I've got an addiction, boys. Help me. Anyway, to be able to promote baseball right now is great. It's really fun.
Funny thing about that is I've never been able to get into the majors, but some reason I've been able to get into the high school games because my cousin is a high school player, and I just feel like he's good. And I just think they're faster. The games are faster than when you watch them
Yeah.
at the stadiums because I just feel like it's long and I can never really tell what was actually going on, like the rules or anything when I was watching the Reds because that's my
Oh,
home
dude, the
school team.
Reds got that player yesterday. Oh my God, how is he? The one who smashed into the wall. Did you see this?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh my
No.
gosh. Did you see it, Hayden? Oh my
I don't
God.
watch sports.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was yesterday afternoon, a Cincinnati Reds player in the outfield like ran to try and get a fly ball, and he bashed into the wall and like completely shattered his wrist. It's
Ooh,
yeah,
God.
it's right out of Mission Impossible. So yeah,
And then
poor guy.
it'd be those sports you'd be like, no, you can't get injured doing that.
No,
Now you're
I
done.
don't even like it. Exactly. Whoops! All right, first timer. Congrats. Yeah.
Are you a Lakers fan?
Yes. So that was quite the roller coaster. I thought, oh my God, this is it. It's destiny, man. LeBron, it's just gonna be his year. Thank God we got Luka, blah, and then I could slowly see the chip away.
Oh,
You know.
man.
Did you watch any of those games?
I watched the game when they actually won, and then they lost, I think, the next few, and then I was like, because I was one of the few, like, it's no way they're gonna get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, I know. I just think
God.
the big
They really needed a center.
they really needed a center. First and foremost, they needed a big man. They didn't have it, or two big men, and all three of their best players, the trifecta, they were all injured. So
Yep.
by the end of it, they could, they just weren't themselves quite. So, but then I was cheering on my Clippers. So of course I had the Blazers. They didn't even make the playoffs. Then I got my Clippers. They're out. Lakers out. So now I'm just, it's interesting though, to watch these games now with not having a dog in the fight, having a team to root for, it's actually kind of relaxing. It's kind of stress-free. I don't really care who wins between the Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, even though it'd be great to be the Warriors. Anyway, since Timberwolves knocked my Lakers out. So, but yeah.
Only thing I do like to kind of see right now that we're kind of seeing is kind of the passing of the guard, where you're kind of seeing a lot of the old heads kind of getting pushed over now. Because I mean, LeBron and KD and all of them used to run this for the longest, and now they're first round outs. Like,
totally
crazy to see that.
KD didn't even make the playoffs, and you're right, all the old guard. It's like, that's a whole new generation now of amazing players, though. I mean, I love watching some of these guys. Ant-Man's great. SGA is amazing, so it's been fun to watch these new guys. But come on, get my Lakers back in the fold. Jeez.
I feel it. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into our interview.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and let Hayden go ahead and take the first question.
All righty. So, out of all your time doing your voice acting, you've done a lot of them. What is probably your best memory through your entire voice acting career?
Oh my God, my best memory. There's so many. I just have. Let's see, my best memory. Well, I have to say, probably one of my best memories is probably my first time doing well, I would say probably my best memory is probably the first time I did a promo for a TV series, and then the other best memories is when I was on an animated show. The first time I ever did an animated show, I couldn't believe I was there. Right, so the first animated show I ever did was Godzilla, which was an animated series in like the late '90s, and what happened was I had taken a class from this woman named Sue Blue. And Sue Blue is like an animation legend. She's an amazing director. She played a bunch of characters. She was on Transformers. Anyway, so I took her class, and then she said, "Oh my God, you're amazing. I want to put you on my show." I was like, "Wait, what?" And like a week later, I was actually on Godzilla, this show. So I went in to record. I met all these people, some of which became one guy. Actually, the guy I went to college with was there too, which was amazing. Thank God he was there. A guy named Steve Staley, who was
okay. I know Steve Staley
from Naruto.
Yep.
He great guy. He was on it too. So that was amazing to be sort of in with those, a lot of famous, Pat Penny, Pat Fraley, a lot of like well-known voice actors on that show. That was huge. And then another one was I got the show. It was a courtroom show that took place that actually was shot in Houston, Texas, called Texas Justice. So it's a show where I got a call from a guy who said, "Hey, Pete, we need someone to do a promo tomorrow. And all you have to do is say, 'No lies, no bull, Texas Justice.'" I said, "So you want me to say, 'No lies, no bull, Texas Justice'?" He's like, "Great, you got the job. I'll see you tomorrow." So I got the gig. It was huge. And that show became like the #1 court show in all of its different territories. And then it became a national show. So I did that for 4 years, and that change sort of got me in the whole promo world. So those two things, the theater thing, were such great memories. I have a lot of great memories. That's a great question. It's hard to pick just one though. So anyway,
I got to boil it down. Everybody's got that one that's like, man, could it be? Could it be? It's really cool you got on the Godzilla series. It's one of my favorite movies growing up was the '98 Godzilla, and I watched it, and it was just so fun. Not many people know about it. Like I was telling my buddies earlier today about it, and they had like the movie got a series.
That movie with Matthew Broderick got a series. I know. I said the same thing, and I was actually on it. So I get it.
And I was kidding. That'd be really cool. It's like, hey guys, a show you've never heard of. I got to talk to somebody who was on it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah. Say, where are they now? Yeah.
Funny thing about that is I've just watched 2 Godzilla movies, but I think they were the ones that were made in Japan that just recently got made.
Did you see Godzilla -1? Was that one?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's a great movie. That's a classic.
That was really good. I was surprised on how good like animation and everything is.
My
like
God.
it's
Didn't you feel like it was like a Sundance movie that had like, studio level budget of special effects?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was like, it was really man.
A small A24 style story, but told it with these grand sort of like visual effects and buildings being destroyed, and Godzilla was amazing. So yeah, that was great. It was really good.
And I'm not trying to like count that, like say the movies that we made here in America aren't good, because I mean I always say the one that had Bryan Cranston in it for a little bit was amazing.
Right. Those are a blast. Those are the Godzilla and Kong series. Those are great. Yeah, those are really fun for sure.
But I'm also a huge Bryan Cranston fan, and
same.
That 10 minutes he was in there made the movie for me. Like, Jesus, like, ooh.
I watched those 10 minutes 20 times. Yeah.
Can't tell you anything else that happened except in those 10 minutes.
Because I always say that he's the only actor that really surprised me on his change from, like, you see him in Malcolm in the Middle, then you see him in Breaking Bad, and you're like, this is the same fucking person. How does he does that? And he's just crazy talented right there. It just show you just need your opportunity, man. And that's one thing about this industry is just being able to wait till you get your opportunity. And it's always, preparation meets time. I forgot how it goes, man. But if you do everything you need to do when the moment comes, you'll be able to shine.
Yeah. No, you said it when preparation meets opportunity. When you're prepared, to meet the moment, and you're lucky enough to get to meet that moment. You get to show all your colors, as an actor. Show all your layers and everything like that. Because that's the thing. So many actors like, I don't get to show my range. I want to be able to show I can do everything. That's what actors want, right? All actors want to be able to show that they can do everything. They don't want to be like typecast, So.
But then it's like, you got to wait till you get the opportunity to do it. Because sometimes people try to get those moments and try to shine when they're not supposed to. And you'd be like, man.
Yeah.
Man, you're going to have to go back because we didn't want that. Like,
Fasting opportunities. Yeah. For sure.
Well, for my next question, I want to ask you, because I want to ask you about your experience working on one of my favorite animes right now. Because when it first came out, I wasn't really a fan of it. It took me a while to really become a fan of it. But I wanted to ask you about your experience working on the anime Bleach, where you voiced Dondochakka. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Nailed it.
Do you feel like you have any connections to that character? Or
I love that character. I love that character so much. It's funny. I was talking about this not long ago about the connection to that character, because when I first went in, God, it was like 2007, I think I went to record. And to this day, I still have no idea how Studiopolis, the studio that recorded all those great anime shows, I don't know how they found me or why they thought of me, but they thought of me for this character. And I came in and it was Kirk Thornton, who's an anime legend. I think at one point, even still, he has more anime credits than anybody else on IMDb. So he was the director, and he came in, and I sort of listened to what the Japanese actor had done before me. And I thought, well, why don't I do like a Rodney Dangerfield impression? Because he sounds a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield. I don't get any respect at all. My mother breastfed me through a straw. That kind of thing. So I was like, I'm all in. And so we sort of decided to mold this character. And this here's the best part about Dondochakka. His buddy Pesce is like literally one of my closest friends. Mike Greco, and he's got the easiest anime job on the planet because he doesn't have to match the flaps. It's just a mask, so he just goes in the whole time. So it's like this, So we had a ball. We had a total ball, and it was like, and I connected to that character because he's so passive aggressive. I mean, he's so like, he's such a lazy ass, Not to say that I'm lazy, but I love, like not doing anything. No, I love to just relax, But yeah, I felt that connection to him, right when I saw him and right when I started to voice him. Because it's weird because I didn't audition for that character. So I just went in and like, here's your character, here's what you're gonna do. So you basically have about 2 minutes to listen to the explanation of who this guy is, and then you got to come up with a voice. You got to come up with a full character, and somehow that particular one, for me, and I guess everybody else, it seems to have worked.
Yeah, pretty good. So how did you feel being able to reprise them when they brought the anime back?
Oh my God, that was so great. Yeah, you mean on the show and then in the video game? It was great. The Hulu show, 10,000 Year, the Blood War.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was so much fun. They're like, okay, we're gonna play for you what you did like 13 years ago or whatever it was. I was like, okay, or no, probably longer than that. It's more like maybe 16, 17 years ago. But I didn't need them to play it because, of course, he's always in my head. Oh my gosh, Pesce! Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so it didn't take you a long time to be able to get that voice back. It was already still there. Okay,
pretty much came right back there. Maybe a couple of takes, and then I felt like, okay, now he's really truly back. But yeah, and it's funny. I don't know if every actor feels this way. A lot of these characters you create, they never quite leave you. They're always there somehow in your psyche, in your soul. And I think that particular character will always be a part of me for sure.
Okay. Was it because just talking to you, I can tell you kind of have like a silly kind of fun type of personality. So was it kind of easy bringing that to that character? Like, you know what I mean? Because he's a goofy kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's such a lovable dipshit. He's such an idiot. I love the guy. What a complete moron. It just sort of it's so much fun to play in that sandbox with that character because he's so like over the top wacky. You don't have to worry about doing too much with that guy because I was like, no, I swear I didn't mean to do it.
Because I always say they have like a Pumbaa and Tumba Lion King type of reference.
Yes, totally.
Timon and Pumbaa type of relationship.
Pumbaa and Tumba. Yeah.
Both. We're gonna create those two new characters. Hey, Disney, get on the phone. So yeah, I mean, it was great, and just it was so funny too because sometimes you're recording an animated series with the entire cast. You're all there. You're in a round room, and everybody's got a microphone. You've all got scripts. You're all reading. This particular show, most of the anime that I do, you're always by yourself. So I didn't even know that it was going to be Mike Greco until like months later when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. And I said, Mike, are you Pesce? And he's like, yes. I said, holy shit. My God, we're working together. This is great. We made it, man. We made it. It pretty much went something like that. So yeah, it's always fun to sort of see it. Once you've done the work, then you see it, all put together and you hear all the different voices and all the different characters. It's great. It's like sometimes I won't even know that other friends had done the same job. So it's great to hear this. Like, wait a minute, was that you? So we all kind of like compare notes and realize like, oh my God, we're all on the show together. So it's a slow reveal as it were.
Cool. I'll let Hayden do my next question.
Alrighty, so this one's gonna be more of a conceited one because I'm always curious. Everybody has that one role. What is that one role you wish was a little better known? Like it could be like it's something so small, but like I love that character so much. I wish people saw this one more.
Well, that's a good question and the perfect time to ask me because I don't know. That sounds sort of like I don't know if you knew this about me or not. That's to the point about being conceited. No. I was the original voice of Omni-Man, Nolan Grayson, on Invincible. I don't know if you guys watched Invincible on Amazon, but
yes, I do.
I've seen the newer one. I have not seen the original one.
Yeah, the original. But so what in 2007? So around the same time actually that I started doing Bleach and Naruto, excuse me.
Oh, are you saying there's two versions of the show?
Yes. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is because
I never knew that.
Okay, so in 2000, little history here. I'm going to bring you boys back for a second here. In 2007, there was an MTV show that was Invincible. They did an Invincible motion comic series, and it was through MTV New Media. So basically, there were these 2.5-minute episodes you could download on iTunes that basically told the Invincible story. So it's all motion comics. So they actually took the actual the panels from the comic books and animated them. So like a panel would come up and you'd see the character, and like the foreground, the background would kind of like go in different directions, and then the dialogue bubble would come up as the voice actor was saying their line. And so I was Omni-Man. I was the Nolan Grayson character, and we did like the first. I think we did the entire book, the first book of all of Invincible. Dude, that Omni-Man, that guy's an evil bastard, man. Holy shit, Jesus Christ. So, but
interesting story, man.
Yeah. So what happened? So recently, the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because suddenly the last couple of weeks, all these articles have been coming out saying that particular version of Invincible, the motion comic one, is now a part of lost media. Nobody can find it. Like nobody has it. Everybody's trying to get their hands on it. I'm getting all these DMs from people asking me about it. And so I decided to do a little deep dive, and actually had lunch with the guy one of the producers of that show. And he's like, I'm not sure what to do with this show. So they are, just so you know, they are looking into it, maybe putting it out at some point, which would be great. It's actually really cool. It's actually really cool.
So they still do have the files and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I've got them. I mean, I could probably share it with you guys. And like I said, we're all going to get arrested. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, I think I have at least some of the episodes someplace.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's cool. So, but if you try and find, I don't know if I don't know, they might exist. Somebody may have found them, maybe on TikTok or whatever. But as far as I know, last I heard, they were part of lost media, which is sort of kind of cool, right? Kind of like the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's like you can only buy it at like conventions on VHS, you know? I mean, now you can see it on YouTube. It's 60 frames per second. They've upressed it. But, you know, it's sort of fun. So it's like I have mixed feelings. Like, yes, I want people to see it because it is really cool. But sometimes it's also sort of cool that it's this hidden gem that nobody can see and nobody can actually find. It's like hard to watch, you know? You can't have everything, people, you know? Yeah, so anyway, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's one I do honestly wish that people could see.
That's neat. That's
hopefully
cool.
That answered your question.
Oh, it 100% did. Whenever I started reading through your thing, I was like, ain't no way. So my oldest sister was a big fan of it and actually tried showing it to me years ago. I was 7, 8 at the time, so I wasn't allowed to know about it. But
you weren't allowed to know about Invincible?
A little violent at 7 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
violent.
What is too young these days? Come on. Yeah.
But also, whenever season 3, at the end of season 2, season 3 came out, that kind of started circulating. So it was like really fun to kind of see that, like, wait a minute, this existed? And just to slow from there, I was like, yeah. And sort of I saw you on there, I was like, that's fucking cool. I can say I know about this. I got to talk to Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Man, this is...
Yeah.
It's hell of a day.
It's great. It is they've done a great job with that series on Amazon. I mean, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg I was saying this the other day that they're my new favorite franchise. I mean, forget DC and Marvel, which are both great too. I mean, between Invincible, The Boys, Gen V, now the studio on Apple TV Plus. They're like, to me, they're like batting 1,000. Like everything they put out has been, been phenomenal. So,
and I'll say Invincible has really been killing it with what they just allowed this season, just exploring the gore, the violence, and the storyline. Because some of the stuff you see in this, you will not see in any other animation.
No,
even
graphic. Yeah. And trust me, J.K. Simmons. I mean, you can't get much better than that. I mean, he's
absolutely not. He fits to a T.
Oh my god, perfect. Yeah, he's like one of my favorite actors. He did call me though. He wanted some advice on how to play Omni-Man, so I gave him some tips. So just so you guys know, there was some. He slid into my DMs. So JK.
Anyway. You're the original, so can I get a few tips?
Don't forget that. I'll be the OG.
Cool.
Forever.
For my next question, I want to ask you: what was the number one reason that made you want to be an actor? And then what got you interested in voice acting?
Okay, well, ever since I was a little kid, I could do impressions of friends, teachers, celebrities. The entire time I was growing up, I was doing impressions of
when you said friends first, I thought you were talking about the TV show.
Rachel. A bad Ross impression. No, not the TV show, although I do love that show.
Good show.
And so then growing up, I used to always do, the infomercials. If you call in the next 10 minutes, you'll also get this strawberry peeler, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's that's something I thought to myself. I knew not that I could do it, but I probably at the time when I was getting older, I was like, I could probably do this, So then I got a radio show at I went to Chapman University and I had my own radio show. And then, I sort of fell into, that's when I sort of, because when you're graduating from college, there's like, or when you're just coming whether you've gone to college or not, when you come to LA, you suddenly start to feel like you get pulled in so many different directions. Like, oh, well, I went to school for film and television production, so I want to be a director. Oh, but I enjoy, doing voices, so maybe I should do voices. Oh, but I like on-camera stuff too. Oh, but I want to write scripts. It's like you have all these interests, So my career when I first moved to LA was one of sort of opportunity, more so than me like pursuing it. Like, I'm just going to do voiceover. It's like, oh, well, here's an opportunity. Oh, well, here's an opportunity to direct. Here's this, there's that. So it all kind of, they all kind of like cycle into each other in a weird, strange way. Like when I first moved here, I was doing production. I worked for Steven Spielberg. I worked for Brian De Palma, James Cameron. How's everybody's feet? With all my name dropping, is everybody doing okay in there? Right. So, and then what happened was I was directing in-house commercials at Mattel Toys. I was working on the Barbie brand. I was working on Hot Wheels. I was working on all their stuff for test products, basically toys that may or may not ever make it out into the marketplace, right? And I was on the set sort of doing a Hot Wheels voice, like, Hot Wheels leading the way. Whoa, your car shoots back around for another vertical explosion. It's awesome. Just as a joke, right? And then the producers there, I'll never forget these two. It was Colleen Woolery and Christina Bunch decided to, you know what? The voiceover guy they had doubled his rate on the way to a session. They're like, well, fuck you. We're not going to pay that. They're like, Pete, you do it. We'll pay you. And if we like you, we'll start using you. So I did. So I started doing all their in-house stuff. And then it started turning into like national commercials. So that kind of kickstarted the voiceover career. Almost, like I said, almost 30 years ago.
Damn. So yeah, thank that guy.
But it's funny. I actually wound up doing infomercials later in life, and I'm not joking, you guys, like, it's a secret, you guys. It was basically that exact same voice that sounds like a parody. Like, yeah, if you call in the next 10 minutes, you'll also get the book, the machine, the this, the that. It was that same voice. They're like, perfect. That's what we want. It's like, great. So all the impressions that I'd done of that character throughout the years were like paying off that way. So I always, I always knew that voiceovers, that would be something that I think that I would want to do. It was just a question of, can I do it? Can I make a living doing it? Because, when you're out on your own, suddenly it's like, you can't you can't fuck around anymore. It's not like just being in school where you can try things out. You got to like get serious. So I got really lucky, kind of semi early on.
Okay. So, another question I just thought about. So what do you prefer to do more? Because, voice acting spreads across a lot of different things that you can do. It seems like you have more fun doing commercials. Do you like doing commercials more than doing like anime or games, or do you have a preference? Or
no, I don't really. Whoever pays me. No, I'm kidding. It depends on the money. I'm joking. Sometimes. That's a great question. It's funny. I enjoy it. I enjoy it all so much. I really do. I can't. It's hard to pick. Like, I love doing the stuff for baseball. I love doing anime. I love doing Dondochakka. I love doing stuff on. I do another show for Netflix called Kengan Ashura, which is like so much fun. It's sort of like Invincible. It's so fucking violent and so bloody, and there's so much ass kicking and stuff like that. It's a blast. So I think what I love about it is because I love doing a variety of different things. Actors love doing different things. They like to feel like they can do everything, right? So to be able to go in and do different things, it's all a joy. I don't really have a preference. Here's the funniest thing though. When I do a commercial, say I only have one line in a commercial, that one line that I'm doing can get so scrutinized, it'll take as long of a session as if I'm recording an episode for an animated series. I'm not joking. That one line. So
oh man, maybe that picky.
Yeah.
They're like,
Not picky. It's like everybody's there. It's like the client is there. The ad agency is there. The production company is there. It's like, they're all there. There's like 10 people in a room. They're like, okay, can we get you to say it like this? Okay, you're losing it on the word you. I'm wondering if you could, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm losing it. Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stress. Whereas, with like something like, Dondochakka, like if we came up with it and we did it all. So it just depends. It's when actors don't feel appreciated or they feel like, you're not giving them what they want. That's tough. That's always really hard.
That's interesting to think of a room full of people and everybody all have different opinions on how that one line should be said.
Yeah, and sometimes they forget to hit the mute button on their end, so you hear them talking about you. That's the best part. They're like, yeah, he needs to.
Who picked him? Who?
Guy sucks. Where's Tom?
Yeah, totally. He needs to do it again, only he not suck. They're like one time there was a mute button, they didn't turn it off, and someone goes, you know what, he needs to like ramp it up. He needs to like ramp it up at the end of that line right there, and the director comes back on, they're like, okay, Pete, so this line right here, can you build up near the end? I said, oh, build it up, or maybe like ramp it up to them. They're like, yeah, ramp it up. Okay, great. I was like, all right, let's do it. They're like, oh my God, he's getting it finally.
I didn't even have to say nothing. He knew.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mind trick. He's thinking. What's that one Mel Gibson movie? Everything we're thinking, he's doing. My God.
Oh, where he can hear women's.
Yeah, that's exactly.
The one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear their thoughts. Yeah. My God. Seriously, it's not far off for sure.
All right, I'm gonna let Hayden do the next question.
Alrighty. So, what role has been your absolute favorite to play for whatever reason? Whether it's funny, it was just the most energy you've ever put into it. Just what has been your favorite role to ever play?
Oh man. Well, obviously Dondochakka is a favorite. My character in Naruto, Furido and Kazuma, in some ways, I love that character because it was so hard to play because there's so much going on. And the director, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who's a legend. She'd been on Naruto as a character, many characters, and she was directing the episode. She doesn't just come in and say, "All right, here we go. You're walking to the forest, and you're going to see some trees and go." She walks in, and she goes, "Okay, this character's past. This happened to him, and then this happened to him 2 weeks ago. But now it's this, and the character you're talking to, it's that." So it's like there's like multiple layers. It's like all this stuff you got to. Between the three beeps, you gotta
digest
put it all in there and deliver. And so that was my most challenge. I'd say that's probably the most challenging role, but also probably my most rewarding in terms of like animation. It's I wouldn't say it was the most fun to play because he's dark as shit. But I loved watching it. I loved how it came out. I loved the interplay between myself and Sora. How pathetic you are. Like, he's such a bastard. I don't know why I play all these bastards. I mean, to look at me now, I look like a freaking goofball. I don't know why I'm playing all these evil villains. Jesus Christ. But it's all sort of work, But so I would say those two are definitely, my top two choices. It's hard to pick because they're so insanely different. But I love them both. So I would say they're sort of on the same line there in terms of the favorites.
Okay.
So when you're going to the booth, do you prefer to have a lot of information about what's going on, or do you rather just kind of just read it and then just go off the cuff?
Oh my God, that is such an awesome question. It depends on what I'm doing. I think that if you sometimes to know more about a character, know more about the situation will help inform, a performance, I think. But in the end, once they come through, you're kind of like, you kind of go off pure instinct, and sometimes things come out in a way that you don't imagine, that you just say that they're out of your control. It's like an out-of-body experience sometimes because you're so wrapped up in the character and wrapped up in the situation that, sometimes you can spin gold that way. So it's a little bit of both. I think, you know what? It's funny. You want just enough information to not let it get in your way for performing, right? You just to have enough information to go and then like act on pure instinct. A lot of times I'll do a take, they'll give me a tiny bit of direction and I'll do a take. They're like, wow, that's it. That's where it needs to be. And other times it's like, wow, that wasn't it at all. That was, I don't know what your problem is. Now let's explain to you what you really need to do. And here's what's happening to their character. And is it Paul? No, it's Pete. Okay. Anyway, so there's a little bit of that. where you like give it a try, like, I don't need to know anything else. I got this. And you're like, oh God, I need to know a lot more. So it just depends. Yeah.
Okay. For my next question, I want to ask you is, what do you find most challenging about being a voice actor and also rewarding?
I would say challenging is just, trying to work all the time. That's the most challenging thing that any actor will tell you. It's the most challenging, it's challenging because you're constantly, it's all rejection all the time.
Yep.
And then you finally get a job. It's weird. You're like, it's rejection, and then you get a job and you forget about all the rejection. It's like, oh, well, I'm a working actor now because I got this job, So that, it's funny. There's been times where there's been so much rejection, then when I get a job, I'm like, wait a minute, is this me? Are you calling the right person here? Are you sure it's a mistake?
I feel
There's other times when you're working like crazy, where you're just on this continual path. It's like, oh my God, I'm like, I have like 4 jobs today. Oh my God, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to the Warner Brothers lot and I'm recording for Fast and Furious, that kind of thing. So it just depends. I mean, I would say I'm sorry, what was your question again? It just depends. That's definitely the most challenging thing is just the hustle. You just gotta hustle. And I would not say I'm like awesome at marketing myself, I'm sort of like a let things, naturally happen. I don't want to force myself into people's lives and say, hire me. Look, I'm great for this. I'm hoping that they're going to see sort of what my qualifications are already, and then nailing a killer audition. Yeah. And that's tough too. It's like getting I get a ton of auditions, but like getting a call back and then going up the chain. And that's challenging too. And it's also really stressful to try and nail that job. And then you are asking me what the most rewarding part of it is.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, definitely working on a project that you love. I mean, I've had one job where I've been the voice of a TV network, Ovation.
Okay.
For 10 years, and that's been amazing. I mean, to work with those guys for 10 years, and I'm still doing it. And I'm doing everything on that network in terms of like different styles of promos. It's like I'm doing rom-coms, I'm doing Christmas movies, I'm doing very dark mysteries, and I'm doing fun narration for that channel. So that's been awesome. So that's been really rewarding to work with people that you really enjoy. That's what I had a session. I would say probably my last session for King and Ashura for Netflix. If someone said, you know what, you're going to be having to do this session now, you're going to be doing this job with these people for the rest of your life, I'd be like, you know what, that's great. That's fine. I love these guys. It was that much fun. So the reward is, and then I get to come on here and talk to you guys about it. That's also the reward where I get to, sort of think about the things I've done and sort of, talk about them. That's also part of the reward. The whole, I'd say the byproducts of voiceovers, that's all that stuff is rewarding. I really enjoy doing it, and I really enjoy sort of like the things that it's allowed me to do, in this career, in this life.
So do you enjoy going to cons?
I do. I haven't done a ton of cons, but when I go there, it's great. It's great to meet people.
Have you recently just started doing them?
Yeah, I've done a few.
Why is that? Because I've talked to a lot of voice actors that's like Stan Stanley and voice actor for Shikamaru and a lot of OG Naruto characters, and it seemed like y'all just recently started doing cons, and I don't know.
Did they tell you why they just started recently doing them? Because
they didn't realize how popular the shows were.
Yes, that's true. Also, because they had a Pop Funko figure made of their character. So if I could just get a Pop Funko figure made of Dondochakka, of Furido and Kazuma, I'd probably be doing a lot more of these, because that's the thing. Once you get a Pop Funko figure, like Michael Yurchek, hey man, Brian Donovan, those guys, they have Pop Funko figures made. Steve Staley, another, Rock Lee. No, Rock Lee is Brian Donovan, but Steve Staley was Neji. Same thing. He hadn't done any conventions, and suddenly, like a year and a half ago, he has 4 Pop Funko figures. So he's doing conventions all the time. So I think it has to do with that. I mean, but in terms of I've done a few, and what's great about those is to, hear people talk about how much your shows and your characters mean to them. That's the coolest part, because it's like, I was just recording this in a room in a little studio, and here it is 17 years later, and people are still talking about it, and it means so much to them, because it means so much to me too. It means just as much to me, I think, as it does to them, I hope. So yeah,
it's crazy to think that your performance could have helped somebody. That's helped me through a time when I was really depressed and all this, and then you're just like, wow. that few minutes I spent recording these lines could really have this much effect on somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like what Paul McCartney said about the Beatles. He's like, hey, man, we were just trying to make money. We're just trying to make a buck. I can't believe these songs are still being played, 60, 70 years later almost. So, yeah, it's insane.
Well, my next question I want to ask you, one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on is because you are in one of my favorite childhood movies. And that's The Land Before Time. I know a lot of people probably haven't watched these movies or haven't even seen them, but I just wanted to ask you, how was it making those movies, and do you remember, or have you watched them yourself? Okay,
I do. That's so cool that you watched it. Yeah, those movies are. I think there was like 14 or 15 of those. Movies.
I think last time I looked, there were like 17.
Oh my god, I don't even know. Yeah, so that was really crazy. So did you know that they did a Land Before Time animated series on Cartoon Network?
I didn't know that.
Okay. So yeah, I think it was around that. I think it was maybe around the same time, maybe a little before Bleach, and I think it was around 2006, 2007, somewhere around then. They did a series, and I auditioned to play Red Claw. So all I did in my audition was like, like great. Okay, now you're sad. So I like broke it up that way. And now you're frustrated. Like great, you got the gig. So, and by the way, don't you love the way my casting director voice is like the same? Like whoever it is, they've cast me for everything apparently. So, but so I got the animated series first, and that was awesome. That was so much fun because they brought all the OG cast, not from the first movie, I don't think, but the people who had been doing those movies. I think they had done up to that point maybe anywhere between 10 and 12 movies already, and then they did the series. And those kids, those actors who had been the kid characters had grown up, but they still sounded exactly the same. So I came in and I did Red Claw, and then I wound up playing other characters throughout the series. And then when they did this movie called The Wisdom of Friends, I think it's number 13, maybe 14. It was me, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Sandra Oh, and we were like the three sort of like comic relief characters that came in to the the OG characters and help them on their journey. So, but all I did for that was like. So yeah, but it was a blast. But being part of that was pretty huge for me. Yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah, it's a great show. The woman, and back to the character, the woman who cast that was Sue Blue, who had given me my original break. And here's the deal with casting directors. They're amazing, but they can only help you so much along that, path to getting the part, right? They bring you in, the producer has to like you, somebody else has to approve you. There's all these different approval levels. And then eventually you either do or you do not get the job. And luckily I got the job. And that's, by the way, that's one of those shows where everybody's in a room and they're all, all doing their parts with a microphone and the script in front of them. And
so y'all all recorded at the same time?
All together. And I had like all these friends that also happened to get on that show as well, which was a blast. So it was great. There was a guy named Kenneth Mars who was in Young Frankenstein and The Producers, Mel Brooks classics. It was on the show. Just hearing his freaking tales of working with Mel Brooks was the reason alone that it was just a whole epic session. It's great. Wow. So yeah, that was really fun times. And like I said, for the most part, that just doesn't happen anymore. Even Toy Story, apparently Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were like screwing around so much in the booth, they didn't get what they were supposed to do. So now they keep even them separated. Toy Story 5. That's just what I've heard. I cannot confirm or deny.
I believe it.
Got boots on the ground on the inside. Who knows if that's true? It probably is. I hope it is. Anyway,
they need to just keep that recording and just send that out as bloopers. People will watch that. I think that would be amazing to watch.
That alone is like great content, right?
I miss the old Pixar bloopers. I miss them where they actually had just voice actors and all that. So I thought those were great.
That was the best part of Bug's Life. You're right. Those bloopers at the end. 100%. Yeah.
I remember they did one with the Lion King and stuff like that. They had like a whole 5-minute blooper reel. They animated everything. It was just entertaining.
Oh my God, gems. Classics.
I'm going to let you do the next question, Hayden.
Alrighty, so out of your whole thing, what has been the biggest hope in your career? Or have you already achieved what you wanted to do when you first set out to this, and you're just enjoying everything that's coming along with it?
Good question. Am I still hungry for the brass ring? I think I still have a few more bonanzas in me. I hope a few more big things. You know what? Obviously, I would love to since we're all such fans of these different franchises, I would love to be a part of the Star Wars franchise. And
Okay.
because it's, obviously with my creepy Yoda in the corner, all the other crap I got in the corner, that would be a dream. And then anything having to do with Star Wars, I would say, continue. I would say if I can, if I get a Pop Funko figure made of some of my characters, that would be a dream at this point.
Cool.
Then we'll also be hanging out at the conventions together more often. And then, I would say, I would say to keep working, despite any AI challenges, to keep working, it's somebody goes, when are you, how much longer are you going to work or whatever? I'm like, I will do voiceovers until I'm dead. Okay. I will always do voices. I will always do it. It's the greatest job in the world. So in terms of like my hope though, yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to have more characters that that are sort of like resonate with the public, which would be great, and keep doing these big campaigns. I mean, to do the Major League Baseball stuff was a little bit of a dream. To do something for the NBA though, because I'm a huge basketball fan, more so than baseball. Don't tell MLB. I love doing MLB, but to do basketball, which is the sport I grew up watching, would be awesome. That would be a dream too. So any of the massive franchise, like a well-known character in a massive franchise it's sort of an actor's dream, a voice actor's dream.
I'm just like you too, because I mean, if I could do the MLB, I would love it. But if I could do my favorite sport, football, man, and then if I could do it for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that'd just be killing it.
That'd be the dream. You will.
But if you guys heard me earlier, I'm from Cincinnati, and being a Pittsburgh fan in Cincinnati is almost like a sin. But I do what I got to do.
Exactly. You got to run in the shadows. You got to hide. Fandom. I know,
man. Especially when it's family nights, when you got the Cincinnati playing Steelers, and only one on the Steelers side, and you
put on like the Steelers gear.
Yeah, I put on everything, and when we're winning, I'm talking my crap. But when we're losing, man.
It's a lonely place.
When everybody's giving you crap, you just praying something happen. I don't want someone to get injured, but
I don't want it to happen.
You know what I mean?
By the way, Raysean, I'm trying to read your hat. What's that say on there?
It's a Kurt Hart. It's a Kurt Hart hat.
Oh, okay.
It's the name of the company. It might be a big brand, but I don't know. I just bought the hat.
Make some good jackets.
You just got $8,000 for wearing it. I'm promoting it on your show.
They make good jackets.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, it's Carhartt. They have like either the big, thick, like winter jackets that do really well. Like we got a lot of them around here that help keep us warm in these Oklahoma winters we get randomly.
Oh my God, are you an OKC fan, Hayden?
I do like OKC. My family's more of it, but every once in a while when my sister comes around, I'll watch it with her and her kids.
Okay, got it. Okay, they're not doing too well. They lost in the last second last night, but still,
the college. I'm OU.
Okay, got it. That's what I mean. That's more important. That's better.
For my next question, I want to ask you is, as a voice actor, have you ever had a humbling experience, and how did you handle it?
Yes, I had a very humbling experience, and I don't know if I handled it well or not. I was on, and I'm just going to tell. I don't know if I've never talked about it publicly, but now it's been so long, I have no problem talking about it. I was on a Nickelodeon animated series, the pilot. I did the pilot for it, and I thought I was doing exactly what I did in my audition. It seemed like the session was going well, and they basically, halfway through the session, they played me my audition back during the session. Like, no, you need to sound more like that. I'm like, okay, I thought I was sounding like that. And then they're like, okay, great, you're sounding just like that. And the whole session got really weird after that. It was very strange. And then I got replaced on that show. And then the person who replaced me got replaced on that show. And then the guy who created it, I think, got replaced on the show. So it was just a series of unfortunate events. And then they're like, oh, this show's going to be coming out. It's going to be huge. And it came out and it did not do well. And I don't root for anybody's failure except for that one. That's different. So that was a really humbling experience. And my daughter had just been born. So like a week after she was born, I was up all night, for a week with her and everything. And then I went to this session. So my frame of mind maybe wasn't quite there, It's sort of like, it's weird. Like if if you're like going in and you're not talking to people and you're doing your job, you don't have to worry about how you feel per se, like you had something horrible happen. If you're a voice actor and you go into a booth, you got to bring it. You can't, train's going down the track and you got to keep it on the rails, you know, and don't derail it. You got to like deliver, you got to perform. So I did the best I could, you know, at the time, and it didn't work out. And I don't know. I mean, it bothered me for a long time. If the show had been a massive hit, it would really bother me. The fact that it sank to the bottom of the ocean was fantastic. That was great. Fuck them. No, I'm just joking. Nickelodeon, yeah, it's funny. I've worked with Nickelodeon, and you know, since then, and it's been great. It's been great. I think that one particular show had its own sort of set of issues. So, but yeah, that was very humbling.
So,
I called for my agent. What's that?
For my next question, I have to ask you: when they played you the recording, did it sound different?
No, I thought
you thought they really
doing that. Do I not hear myself? You know, it didn't sound that way. Maybe the attitude was different that I was putting on. I think that's the thing that people don't. That's why people who get into voiceovers like, oh, I got a great voice. You know, well, if you can't act, you don't have the attitude. If you can't project that attitude into the voice, into the character, you know, it's not quite going to work. And so I think that was it. I think the attitude that I'd put on that audition was different than the attitude I brought into the actual recording session for the show. So I think when I heard that, I was like, oh, it's kind of more of an attitude and the way he's delivering the lines, I think, than the voice itself. So anyway, I think once I got that, and I brought, okay, not like United, but for some reason, it wasn't quite working.
Have you ever worked with that director again?
No, but here's the funniest thing. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you. I would have forgotten. Here's the craziest thing. I actually ran into her at an audition like 5 years later, not that long after that session, maybe between 5 and 8 years later. And you guys, she didn't remember me. It was like, hey, so, okay, great. So I don't really know your work here. So let's talk about this. You know, I'm like, whoa. I was like, you don't remember the hell you put me through? I'm not going to name names. I'll text you later, guys. I'll give you all the names later. So anyway, but yeah, I actually ran and she didn't remember me, or clearly didn't remember the incident. So yeah, it was bizarre.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But that is, you know what? Every voice actor, especially ones that do animation, most of them have a similar story where they got replaced, or they weren't able to give what the casting director or what the director, she was the director, or whoever, they're not able to give. One of the funniest stories I've ever heard was two friends of mine were actually in a session recording for a commercial. And during the session, they both got pings and emails from their agent saying that, asking them to audition for the exact same commercial they were in a session for. They had already gotten replaced and they were looking for new people to replace them. And they got auditions for the character to replace themselves. Does that make sense? So they, like, basically they'd been fired. They didn't know it. And they were already looking for other people through other agents.
Wow.
God dang. And then
this is a harsh world.
That's a cold business, man. It's a cold business. So that does happen.
I'll enjoy the work you make as opposed to wanting to be a part of it. I'll enjoy the work. You do the work. I'll enjoy it.
Exactly. Just enjoy it, guys. Just enjoy the ride, okay? Jeez. You don't want to know you don't want to know how the sandwiches are made. But yeah.
Fish world, it seems like.
Oh my God, for sure.
But my next question I want to ask you, do you think there's any misconceptions about voice acting?
Yes, 100%. Sort of like what I was just talking about in terms of like people think that it's easy and that they're gonna be able to make a ton of money by recording, you know, something in their own home studio in their underwear every day. It's just not true. I mean, some people, usually I'm naked. No, basically it's just not the way it is. I mean, you have to have, you know, obviously a certain amount of talent, but you also have to have some kind of an acting background. You have to have some kind of, you know, way of understanding the script, understanding the copy, I should say, understanding and being able to interpret it and being comfortable in front of a microphone and being able to. There was a guy who was British, who was amazing guy, good guy, got to know him. You know, he's like, hey, I really want to try voiceovers. And he came over and he was so nervous. He just wasn't an actor. He wasn't comfortable in front of the microphone at all. And it was tough. He was like sweating the whole time. So I think the greatest misconception is that it's easy, and you're gonna, you know, if you have a great voice, you're gonna kill it in voiceover, because, you know, that's a tiny fraction of it. You know, there's more than enough people with horrible voices that are, you know, that are phenomenal actors. You know, I should say horrible voices, but have average voices that are phenomenal, that are great actors, and vice versa. You know, that have these amazing baritone voices, and they can sound like this, but then they get in front of the microphone, and it's really awkward and weird, and they can't, you know. So I would say that you know, obviously should take a class. I think you should, you know, study the craft of voice acting, take an improv class. That's always awesome. That always helps, because that helps with the instincts, you know, especially if you're recording something like, you know, like animation too. It's sort of like that helps.
All right. And we're winding down to our last 3 questions. I'm gonna go ahead and let Hayden do my next one.
Alrighty, so mine will be a 2-part. So just remember this first one for the next part. Is so I saw even hold on. There it is. I saw you've been doing a few gigs in the gaming world. So from your professional view, because I'm a gamer here, I like knowing this stuff. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm a big gamer. I like knowing a lot of this stuff. What is it more fun to do video game voices, whether it's something big or small, or movies or anime?
I'll tell you this. I love doing video games. I don't love the efforts. I don't love the toll it can take on my voice sometimes, because there's a lot of yelling and grunts and efforts and stuff like that on certain games, not all games. But I was a robot voice in this game called the Callisto Project, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. You're going down the road. Take a left. You know, like that. It was great. It was really cool. You know, filtered and everything. Really, really fun. I feel like you can have a similar experience on a video game, because the storytelling in video games has gotten so good. I think it all comes down to the character you're playing. If you're playing a character that's engaging, you know, and they become so much more interesting, these characters in these video games, then, you know, they're kind of equal. I would say I don't do as many video games as I do anime. So I'd say I probably would be leaning towards, just because I've had so much fun doing anime. I would probably say that, you know, I prefer the characters I've done in animation and anime more so than the characters I've done on video games, and the stuff I've done for different movies. I prefer that. But at the same time, I mean, as long as I'm not, I mean, I did a video game once where I literally blew my voice out for 4 hours.
Wow, dang.
I'm trying to think what game it was. Maybe it was like EverQuest, or maybe a World of Warcraft game. And then the next morning I had to do the WWE action figures. And so my voice was thrashed. And so it's like that. By the way, this sounds super like, you know, like actory, but the reason why actors wanted to get paid so much more for video games, because it's a one-time fee, right? It's like a blanket fee of like $1,000, which is not chump change. It's great. But there's no residuals. There's no royalties. It's like, that's your one.
Okay.
Like if you did GTA, what is it, 5 that came out in 2013, because that's the last time they came out with a GTA. If you did that, you're getting $1,000, and that game's been played for the last 12 years. You're not getting another dime, even though people are probably enjoying everything you're doing. Whereas these commercials you do one session, you get paid okay, but then you get residuals, which winds up being a lot more money. So yeah. So in terms of, and the video game industry, you know, even still, I think, makes way more than the entertainment industry, way more than film and television. It's like $20-30 billion or something.
But Dad and I looked at it last year, and it like dwarfs it. I think it was like all of them together still don't match what a video game industry does, like music, all of it together. And it was just, it flabbergasted him. Then you think about it, how many crappy games get made a year? And if 1 million people buy it for $1, that's $1 million extra dollars.
Yeah. No,
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think games were taking over like that. But you learn something new every day.
Yeah, during the pandemic, especially. That's why all these, well, same thing with entertainment in a way, because of like Netflix and all these, when we're all trapped during the pandemic, people were playing, you probably played a ton of games during the pandemic, you know, watched a lot of content, and all these video game companies grew and grew and grew. And then once audiences and players started shrinking when the pandemic ended, it's like, oh shit, we got to like lay all these people off. That's why all these people getting laid off from studios, both video game and film studios, because they grew so fast.
Crazy.
They needed them. Yeah.
For my next question I want to ask you is, I thought this was interesting when I was looking through your IMDb. I see that you did a little bit of work with American Idol. Could you explain what you did with American Idol?
So American Idol, about
Were you a contestant?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to be an opera singer back when I was in school. I was studying opera, but then I realized I didn't have the talent. Plus, you got to languages. Forget that. I'm sorry, that's too hard. I was the voice of American Idol Rewind, which was a syndicated version of American Idol where they went back to each season and repackaged it with a brand new narration and brand new footage. And they got like new interviews with like all the winners. Like, you know, they did, they went back and they got new interviews with like Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood, like all the winners.
Oh, okay.
And repackaged it and put it out in syndication. And it ran for, I don't know, a lot of seasons. Back when it's crazy that American Idol is still on, right?
Yeah.
It's been on for like 20 something years.
We're making Simon Cowell must have had a vision, man.
Seriously, unbelievable. So it's amazing that it also survived a whole other network too, the way it went from Fox to ABC. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some narration and I did the promos for that show back in the day. So yeah, that was my one sort of like trip down the American Idol, juggernaut.
All right. Hayden, you got one more question?
I have two. Can I ask two?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish it up. You're gonna finish up the pod.
Alrighty, so then I want to go back to that other one I asked where it said, which do you prefer to the video games, anime, or stuff? But based on what you're saying, I have an idea. When it's all said and done between the both of them, which do you find more rewarding? Like, say if it's finished in anime, it's like, you know what, I did that. Or your video game where you said sometimes there's a lot more of a struggle. It's like, you know what, I made it through that. That's a hell of a job right there.
I have said that about myself, by the way.
I think we all have. Let's be honest.
We all have, exactly. No matter what I do. Clean out the litter box. They did a hell of a job with that too today. Actually, I would probably say that watching myself in an animated series, because I don't play games that much, I'm still playing freaking Ms. Pac-Man and Tetris. Because I don't play that many games, I would say probably the animation, like watching the characters come alive and hear my voice, everything. It's great. It's just like, whoa, I can't believe that's me in this environment with these other characters interacting. It's a thrill. It really is a thrill. So I give the edge to the animation and the movies and TV shows for that.
Oh, very fair. I figured it'd be that because it's going to be more in depth with that, which makes a lot more sense. What you work with a lot more is where a lot more of your heart goes into. Like it's like, this is my heart, so I fully understand your thing there.
Yeah, I phone in the video games, but I care about the animation stuff. I'm joking. No, I give it all everywhere. But I would say, I'm more of a traditional animation and film and TV guy. So, but the video game stuff can be really great. And there was like I said, I was talking about EverQuest. I mean, it was a great gig. Yes, I blew my voice, but I also got to play a bunch of different characters too. That was a blast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to end Raysean's thing, this is one I always like to ask because it's always fun. So whenever you work in the film industry, anything like this, it's always ideas that pop in your head because imagination runs wild. I can only imagine. If you had all the rights, all the money, whatever it took, whatever situation, what would be your ultimate passion project in whatever media world?
Okay, that's a great question. I would say that I would love to make my own movie, my own feature film. Mm-hmm. I would love to write it and produce it and direct it. I don't think I would want to star in it, but I'd love to have like a little meaty, juicy role in there at some point. You guys can be in it.
Like a Stan Lee type of cameo.
Exactly. I have like a little cameo. I'll be the guy. I'll be like, bar patron number 6с, in the corner. Who's wasted.
First ever movie, he just cameos himself in there. Who's this dude? Oh, he's the director.
Right. The guy with no teeth. Because I'm such a film fanatic, film nerd. I love. I've always grown up.
Would it be Star Wars related or?
You know what? That's a great question. I don't. Yeah. I mean, you mean if I could like make my own Star Wars movie?
Like, this is whatever. Like taken by sense right here. Like it's way back there, but a game on PlayStation 1. I'd fully remake.
I just got okay. I might have to change my pants too. I'm thinking if. Yes, I would love to make a movie. I would love to. Wouldn't we all love to live in the Star Wars universe, right? So to make my own Star Wars movie would be, that would be the ultimate. That would be a dream. That would be the greatest thing ever. To have a lightsaber and hang out with Yoda. I'm already hanging out with Yoda. Why don't I just make a movie about it? Make him less creepy in the actual movie. So yes, I would love that, and being doing something like that would be a dream. Being a part of a Marvel movie would be a dream. Getting to make something like that. By the way, have you guys seen Thunderbolts yet?
You mean the new Avengers?
Yes, the new Avengers. Oops. Spoilers, not really.
We laughed at earlier today. That's such a stupid name thing because it's Thunderbolts. That's the new Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, they still got it. I'm glad they brought it. So yeah, that's a great question. Yes, if I were to have my druthers, if someone said, Pete, you can do anything you want, I would make my own movie. And yes, if I had to pick a franchise, I would make my own Star Wars movie. 100%. I'd be in a robe. I'd be a Jedi. It'd be great. I'd probably get killed in the first 5 minutes. It'd be phenomenal. I'd create my own crawl at the beginning. So yeah, that's a killer question.
Would you do your own story, or would you try to get George Lucas a part of it?
I would have him consult. I would love to hear what he would have to say. I'd love to sit down with him, have him do a little mini masterclass where he would just, describe to me his current feelings on Star Wars. Is it still fun making these movies? Even though he stepped back from that. I think a little bit of both. You take sort of like, the Star Wars, the canon, and you kind of create your own story. I think that's what fun is. That's why there's so many great little fan films from Star Wars, I mean, I could probably make one of the shorts, but in terms of like making a full, $200 million feature, that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Get over Project Blackwing. I would love to see that.
It's in pre-production now.
I'd love to see that. It'd be so neat to see the zombie that zombie infection get brought to life in some way. It'd be so cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. And now they're making a Star Wars horror movie. Did you guys see this?
No.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually happening or
I
not.
could see some of them characters in there. I wouldn't want to just randomly meet on a alley, on a dark alley, man. Can you imagine being Gobble the Hutt?
Yeah. Trapped in a trash compactor.
It's like, what's that thing when they go into hyperspace and all that stuff, and sometimes they go through the space and then all of them disappear. There's some entity in there. That would be a fun one to explore.
Totally. That'd be like a Blumhouse thing.
Man,
awesome.
We're gonna end it on this question because I was like, we might as well just knock out one more question.
Let's do it.
What ambitions or goals do you have yet to fulfill in the field of voice acting?
Oh man, let's see. What haven't I done? Been happy. Just joking.
That's
just kidding. No, I'm very happy. I'm very lucky. I would say, I mean, obviously doing a voice in a massive franchise, what we talked about, working with some of our heroes. I did do some stuff for James Cameron. I did some stuff for Steven Spielberg. So getting to work with those guys.
That's amazing.
I've met some pretty big players. I've been really lucky. But to keep that going, and meet some of the, work with Kevin Feige, the Marvel, would be a dream. So yeah, I mean, I definitely have some lofty goals still in me. I think I got some, like I said, I still got a couple of bonanzas in me. So, let's see what happens the next few years. Stay tuned.
All right. I want to make sure, do any of you guys have anything else you want to discuss before we end the episode?
Hayden?
Yeah, you're cool. Raysean, your show's so cool. I like you. I like coming on to meet these dudes. They're so cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Blessed. No, this is great. You guys got it going on. This is as good as it gets. So thanks so much for having me on the show. It's awesome. And I'm trying to make out both of what you guys have going on in the background there. It's a lot.
Oh, mine is just anime posters.
Okay.
I'm more into anime and animations, and he's more into games and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the whole room or not, but I do love showing it off.
Yeah.
As my
oh my god, are those
700? 736 video games.
Holy shit! It's like a store.
And it is.
He's like a small little GameStop. He's not playing. I've never really seen someone that interested, but
he's so cool.
He's one of those people you can probably name a random game. He probably can pull it off the shelf.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you have the Atari ET, the one that like went into the oh god, this shit just got real. And he's got the gamer chair. Oh my god, this is
you gotta try harder than that, Pete. You gotta try harder than that.
Ain't no stumping this guy. That is hysterical. A, it's great that you have it, first of all. B, it's great that you were able to just pull that right out within like 6
it's sitting over here because I have 2 shelves. I got my like rare games over here, along with my high dollar there, so they're own separate things. This is there sitting there. I got it for like $8 2 years ago, and I'm never playing. I hate Atari, but I now have it.
Oh my god! Do you have like 2600 to play?
It's downstairs actually.
Oh my god! So I'm fascinated by this thing. So do you have like some of the older consoles, like other ones, like ColecoVision or Intellivision or
we don't. We haven't. So right now, a lot of the stuff did originate from my dad. So we have some of the older stuff. Like recently, we got a Sega Master System, like about a month ago, actually. But we have the Atari, we have the Master System, we have a Genesis. I got a Sega CD last year. I got all the Nintendo stuff, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. Right. I got a Wii, my GameCube's here. Like my desk here, I always love talking about my desk. I handmade it. It's an arch that has PS3, 360, Wii, PS2, Switch, Xbox One, GameCube, PS5, all the way around. I'm missing Xbox Series X and PS Vita, and I pretty much have all the stuff over the past like 50 years.
Oh my God. You know what? That was, I don't even know what PS Vita is, but I want one.
Do you know what a PlayStation Portable is?
Oh, yeah, right.
It's basically that, bigger and touchscreen.
Oh, I need to get a little...
Yeah, because I have a PSP, so it's like the next generation up from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I need to look into that myself, low-key.
Exactly. Baller.
I'm always
well done.
I'm always ready. I got something on me at all times. Yes. I got a mini TV ready at all times. So I got my DS or PSP. I'm always ready.
Wow, that is truly impressive. That's great. Well done. You are a gamer.
Thank you, sir.
I feel bad saying anything negative about video games.
It's an entirely. It's not for everybody. I'm saying this is somebody.
No, I mean, I'm not negative. I think video games are great. I'm not as I don't play. I don't play
entirely fine.
You need like a pilot's license to play some of these games. Jesus Christ, that's impressive that you're able to play these newer games too. That's insane. Good for you guys.
Newer, older. I've played games you've never heard of, like Chicken Police, and then I've played some that you've heard of, Halo Reach. It's all over the spectrum.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. This is, you know what? You've inspired me. I got to get off my ass. Maybe I'll plug in. I have a Nintendo 64. I'll plug that bad boy in too.
Play Turok.
Play a little Duck Hunt. Play what?
Turok.
I don't even know what that is.
It was one of Nintendo's first M-rated games. It's a dinosaur shooter game on Nintendo 64.
Fantastic. I'm sure you have it in your collection of 800 games. If you could ship me one, that'd be great.
I got Turok 2. Okay. I haven't been able to find one.
That's fine. I don't need to know the first one. I'll just watch the sequel. Play the sequel.
Fair enough.
Cool. Yeah. That's so funny. You guys are
And with that, we end today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a lot of fun and learned so much more about the industry of voice acting, and hopefully you listeners did too. Before we close out, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to plug themselves, basically tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me, the Sep VO, so TheSepVO on all the pretty much all the socials. Let's see, TikTok, Instagram, Threads. On Facebook, I'm just Pete Sepenuk. My website is thesep.com. If you want to check it out, I need to update it, but you can sort of see some stuff on there. But yeah, I had a ball with you guys, so hopefully we'll do this again soon.
Hopefully. And if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to ask Pete about this interview or just about voice acting overall, I'll have all his links and stuff below. And with that, I just want to say peace.